Hi, welcome to my chromatic tuner review. I have 6 chromatic tuners. These are the different models. Let's start with the one that I purchased first, and this is the Korg Pitch Clip PC-1. It's a very simple model. Clips like this. There's only one button, one straight press. It turns on. Press again, it's off. If you press and hold when you're doing it, when you're turning it on, it actually changes to the inverted mode in case your clip is arranged in a different way than normal, like that. Press it again and it turns off. A very basic and straightforward tuner. This is a Snark SN6. It's the Snark that is compared to the other models, it's specific to the ukulele. Battery compartment here, 2 joints, ball joints here, and clips on here. One button to turn it on and turn it off. Has a multicolored display. The contrast is not bad on the display. Very simple to use. This is a Cherub WST620. It's a little bit more sophisticated. The clip here is very nice and solid. Battery compartment. One button to turn on by pressing along and pressing a long press to turn off. A short press while it's on changes different modes. One button to change the pitch, and also flat if you're using some certain instruments. So let's try press it, and it's on. It can detect which direction it is, and I'll adjust the display so it's in the U mode, which is the ukulele mode. The display is a little bit washed out. I don't like how they tried to use multicolors on the display and came at the expense of display contrast. You can see here that's supposed to be black, but some of the backlighting is washing through, so it's not very clear sometimes. I'll show you later when it's connected to the instrument, and a long press will turn it off. This one is a ENO ET-33. It's very common, gets rebranded and relabeled under other manufacturers or other marketing companies, but one of the most common ones you'll see online. Battery compartment here, clip here is very basic. Only has one button to turn on and off, and when it's on you can cycle through the different modes. So let's take a look at this. Long press and it starts up. Display is reasonably bright. Contrast is not bad. It's a one color monochrome until you'll see when it's in tune the whole display will change to a different color. When you press each button, a short press, when it's on it'll cycle through the different modes. And a long press will turn it off. This is a Flanger F T12. Very compact unit. Unfortunately the buttons are hidden in the back, similar to the Cherub. You'll have to remember where it is, or you have to take a look. So the on and off button is here, and changing the pitch over here. So a long press will turn it on, and it's a very nice bright display, very good contrast. Viewing angles better than most of the other ones except for the Korg and maybe the Snark. You'll see later when it becomes in tune, it changes color, the whole screen, and is very obvious when you're in tune. So this button here will change the pitch. And the long press on the other button will turn it off. Here we have another model from ENO, the ENO EMT-300. So it has some more advanced features. Almost seems like a copy of the Snark tuner. It has a more basic clip here. Everything is rubberized instead of the hard plastic. And it turns, pivots like this. Sometimes you'll see it marketed under different brands. For example, I'm fairly sure it's the same as the tuner that gets marketed as a crescendo tuner. And it's also very nice. So you have a metronome function on here. So let's just take a look. Press long and it turns on. It's a very bright display. Viewing angles not so good. You can see this is supposed to be all black, but as you turn it, the multicolored displays have this washed out look to it. But most of the time it's fairly good like this. You press it again, you can change the different modes. You can press the metronome function and it shows a little, it's not an audible metronome function, it's just a little heartbeat there. Press it again and it switches back here. These two will change the pitch, or when it's in the metronome function, pressing these other two buttons will make it change the beats. So press again and turns off. That's just a quick overview of all these three. All of them run on CR2032 batteries. They last quite long, these lithium batteries. Usually I buy them from Amazon, or you can get them from a loony store. $1 or $1.50 Canadian for 3. Okay, let's go on and see what it's like connected to my ukulele. Here we go. I fit everything on. I'm not trying to be silly. Well, maybe I kind of am, but let's just see here. I have this normally strung up G, C, E, A. And let me just pluck one of the strings, and you can see the response time between the different tuners varies quite a bit. So here we go, G. And some of them are very obvious in displaying when it's in tune. Some of them will change the color. Okay, and let's try C. You'll notice some of them take a longer time to respond to when the note has been played. The ones that seem to pick it up a little bit faster, in my experience, are the Korg, Snark, and the Cherub. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to try to play several of these in a row, and you'll notice some of them may not respond as fast. So there's one of them that, at least one of them, that didn't even respond to some of the notes. Let's try this again. Notice this one here, the EMT-300, didn't even pick up the last note. The Snark is very good in picking it up. And same with the Cherub. Something to keep in mind. The ENO, both of them seem to pick up the changes very slowly. So if you're trying to tune and you know this one's in tune, you know this one is in tune, and this one in tune, and suddenly you know you want to be able to go through all of them and check if they're in tune, these ones will give you a bit of a pause. Sometimes it's annoying, but it's okay. Let's take a look at the displays here. So let's start with the Korg. The Korg is very obvious where the display is. No problem about that. Except you look at the A, E, C, G. That doesn't really look like a G, right? Okay, and the snark here is very obvious what it is. G, C, E, A, and the display contrast is not bad. On the Cherub WST620, the contrast is actually not that good. You might see it better in the video, but in most lighting, you get a lot of washed out effect from here. The video makes it look better, I believe. And let's take a look here, the ENO ET-33. Very obvious, it turns bright green. See, but it flashes around a bit. It doesn't seem to be able to kind of lock into and know what note that you're trying to play. Flashes a bit. And the Flanger F T12 is a very nice display here. Although it seems to get cluttered, you get this 440 EC. If you're not a beginner, you'll know what that is, but if you're trying to give this to a younger person, it might be a little bit confusing at first. But that one has a very nice display. The EMT-300 looks like it's almost a clone of the Snark in terms of the display. There are small differences, but it's very bright. A little bit of in person right now, in addition to the yellow here, the red almost seems like it's lit up. So sometimes that might be a problem if you're in sunlight, for example. So there you go. Let's see what happens when I try to tune one of the strings and see how fast this responds. So I'm going to see if I can get to this one here, move this over a little bit, and then I'll try to tune it and see if you can see there will be a difference between the different tuners in terms of how fast it will respond to the changes in the string tension. So I've just dropped it a bit. It takes there's a little bit of lag in some of them, you can see. So, see if I can try to tune it. Right about there. They're all very close, but some of them are a little bit different than others. But overall, not bad. If I were to choose the two worst, it would be the ET-33. The display of the Cherub WST20 is also a downside. In terms of simplicity, the Korg is good. The Snark is also very good. One button, both of them, one button on and off. If you want some more features like ability to change the pitch and different types of instruments, then the Flanger F T12 is very good. And this one is actually not bad. The EMT-300 by ENO. Lots of features. And I'll list on the video posting some links to the more details on these. For example, where I bought them from and roughly how much they cost. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.